Hello dear students of class 10th, welcome to the first class of history. Students, I hope all of you are doing well. Students, in this video, I shall start with the first chapter of history, that is the rise of nationalism in Europe. So this is the chapter that I am going to start in this video. Students, let me tell you that this is going to be an introduction class or introduction video about this chapter. I am going to introduce this chapter to you, that what this chapter is all about, why are we studying this chapter. I am going to explain you the essence of this chapter, that what all is included in this chapter. Okay, students, in class 9th you studied in class 9th you studied about India in the contemporary world part 1, in which you studied several topics like the French Revolution, rise of Nazism in Europe, rise of Nazism in Germany, then about Russian Revolution and several other topics you studied in class 9th. Now in class 10th you are going to study India in the contemporary world part 2. So that means this is just the second part of what you have already studied in class 9th. So you have to connect whatever you are studying now with the topics that you had already studied in class 9th. You have to link the chapters, you have to link the topics. Okay, you have to relate whatever you have studied and what you are going to study now. So this is just the second part of what you have already studied. So with this, let's start with the introduction of this chapter. Students, as you see that the chapter starts with this image. This image is also given in your book. And before I explain you the image, let me tell you that this image is very important. See, if something is given in your book, then that is very important and you cannot leave that topic, you cannot leave that point. It doesn't mean that this is an image so it is not important. No, that's not true. If it is given in your book, it is equally important, and questions may come from this image. Questions may come regarding the description of this image in long answer type, or questions may come in objective type also, and in objective type also questions may come. So you have to understand each and every topic well. You cannot skip any topic. Okay, so now let's start with the explanation of this image, that what this image depicts. See, as you can see, means I'll just explain you that I'll just explain roughly that what can be depicted from this image. After that I'll explain you in detail also. See, as we see, let's start from the top. What you can see, Jesus Christ is there. Jesus Christ holding a cross. He's having a cross. Then we can see there are so many angels, saints. They are in the heaven and they are showering their blessings on the people on the earth. Then as we come down to the earth, we see a statue. I hope you know that. I hope you can identify this statue. This is the Statue of Liberty. Yes, and this is the Statue of Liberty. She is holding a torch in one hand, and in one hand she is holding a charter. I'll explain you later that why she is holding a torch and a charter. Okay, so I explained you that on the top we have angels, God and saints, and as we come to the earth, first we have the Statue of Liberty. After this, as you can see children, there is a long trail of people. There are so many people and they are of different nations. They are of different nations. Now how it can be said that they are of different nations? Because they are holding the national flag of their country. As you can see in the image, they are holding the national flag of their country and they are also in their uniform. That is why it can be said that these are people from different countries and they are coming in a queue. There is a long trail of people. There are so many people and they are coming in a queue very properly in an appropriate manner, and they are paying homage to the Statue of Liberty. Homage means they are paying respect, they are paying honor, they are paying their tribute to the Statue of Liberty. And the scene is very, this is a very happy scene where people are paying their tribute, their homage to the Statue of Liberty, and God is showering His blessings on the people of earth. So this is just a rough description, I would say, that what all is visible I have just explained you. I will also explain you in detail that what this image depicts, what does this image symbolize. Okay, so I hope you understood that what this image is all about. And let me tell you that this image has been created by Frederick Sorio. This image has been created by Frederick Sorio in 1848, and there is a title given by him to this image, as you can see the title also. So the title of this image is The Dream of Worldwide Democratic and Social Republic. This is the title of this, The Dream of Worldwide Democratic and Social Republic, The Pact Between Nations, a print prepared by Frederick Sorio, 1848. So this is a print that has been prepared by Frederick Sorio. And you know children, Frederick Sorio, he prepared a series of prints. That means he prepared 4 prints, and this is one of the print that has been prepared by Mr. Sorio, and which is given in your history book. Okay. So students, this is the first print of the series. There are 4 prints and this is the first one of the series, and it shows the people of Europe and America. Means specifically Frederick Sorio has mentioned about Europe and America as the national flag is visible. So it shows the people of Europe and America, men and women of all ages and social classes, marching in a long train and offering homage to the Statue of Liberty as they pass by it. So you can see that not only men but women are also coming and they are paying their tribute to the Statue of Liberty. People of all ages, means people of all ages, whether the people are old, young or children, everybody is coming in a long queue and they are paying their respect to the Statue of Liberty, irrespective of the social class, the rich, the poor, the upper class, the middle class, the lower class, everybody. There is no discrimination. Everybody is coming and they are coming in a queue, in a proper queue, and they are paying respect to the Statue of Liberty. So I hope that till here points are clear to everybody. Now students, let me come to the Statue of Liberty. See, as I told you that the Statue of Liberty, she is bearing a torch in one hand and Charter of the Rights of Man in the other. Why she is having a torch in her one hand? Because of darkness. Is there darkness all around? That is why she is having a torch, so that she could show light to the people, she could show the path to the people. No, not like that. Here torch is symbolizing enlightenment. Okay, she is holding a torch, that means it is symbolizing enlightenment. And on the other hand, she is holding a charter. Now what is a charter? See, charter means a document or a written grant, and that grant is about what? That grant is about the rights of man. Specifically man is mentioned, not people. Man is mentioned. Why? Because that time women were not having rights, they were not having voice. There was a male dominant society. The domination of man was there that time. That is why specifically man is mentioned. So I hope you understood about the Statue of Liberty, that she is in one hand she is holding a torch and on the other hand she is holding a charter. And why she is holding? You understood, because the rights of man are mentioned in that document, in that grant. Now students, Let's come to the foreground, that means the front part. So on the earth in the foreground of the image lie the shattered remains of the symbols of absolutist institutions. So as you can see the foreground, that means the front path, there are so many things that are lying, means there are so many broken things that are lying. You can see crowns, right? You can see the crowns, they are lying, they are shattered, they are broken. Now you know, these are the remains of crowns, means they are completely broken, and they are symbol of absolutist institutions. Now what do you understand by absolutist? See, absolutist means a form of monarchical government. It is a form of monarchical government that was centralized, militarized and repressive. That means the rule of king was there, and he had absolute power. Nobody could put any restriction, or nobody could have a check on that king. So that is why the this picture is representing that the monarchical form of government has been shattered. It has completely been shattered, as there are so many crowns, they are completely broken and they are lying here. So this the images representing, these are the symbols of shattered monarchy, these are the symbols of broken monarchy, and this image is representing a democratic social republic. So I hope that a description regarding this image is clear to everybody. This is a very important painting by Frederick Sorio. Okay. So students, this print by Sorio, let me tell you that this print by Sorio is called as Sorio's utopian vision. This is very important. This print is called as Sorio's utopian vision. Now what is utopian vision? See, utopian means thinking beyond reality, something that is thinking about something or thinking of something that is not practically possible at that time. See, for example, 100 years back, I'm just explaining you the term utopian with the help of an example. Let's suppose that 1000 years back, a man imagined of a device by which people can talk to people sitting miles away. That time mobile phone was not there, but a person imagined. So this imagination is called as utopian vision. That means imagining something beyond reality. Okay, I hope the concept of utopian vision is clear. Now why is this image called as Sorio's utopian vision? See, because that time Sorio was thinking about a democratic and social republic. So that is why his thinking, his imagination, his vision is called as a utopian vision. Now what is depicted, what is showed in this vision? See, the people of the world are grouped as distinct nations identified through their flags and national costumes. As you can see that this is the first point. So why this painting is called as, or why his idea of painting is called as utopian vision? Because he painted this painting in 1848, and that time there were distinct or different nations were not there that time. Europe was centralized, Europe was in center, and other nations were not developed. They were not nations. But that time also he imagined that there are several nations. How imagined? We can see from the people as they are holding their national flag. There are so many people who are holding the national flag of their country and they are wearing their national costume. So he imagined that there will be several nations and they will be marching, paying homage to the Statue of Liberty, holding their national flag in their national costume. This is the first point why this painting is called as a utopian vision. Now students, let's come to the second point, that why this vision is called as the utopian vision. See, leading the procession way past the Statue of Liberty are the United States and Switzerland, which by this time were already nation states. See, this painting was painted in 1848. So before 1848, several nations, they were declared as nations, like United States and Switzerland. They already became nation. So these two nations, they were leading the procession. They were leading this procession because they were already declared as nation at that time. That is why they are leading this procession. Next point. France, identifiable by the revolutionary tricolor, has just reached the statue. As you can see, this is France, because this France can be identified because of the color of flag. What is the color of flag of France? It is black, red and gold. So from this color it can be easily identified that this is France, and France has already reached the Statue of Liberty. It has already paid homage, or it is paying homage to the Statue of Liberty. It is near Statue of Liberty and is paying homage. Okay. Next, she is followed by the peoples of Germany bearing the black, red and gold flag. She is followed. Who is she over here? She here means France. So France is followed by several other nations, and they are holding the national flag of their nation, and they are in their costume. They are in their national costume. So students, as I told you that this is France who is paying homage to the Statue of Liberty, and France is followed by Germany. Okay. Next, following the German peoples are the people of Austria, the Kingdom of Two Sicilies, Lombardy, Poland, England, Ireland, Hungary and Russia. So this is symbolizing that how people are aspiring for a nation. As I told you that here is France. After France there is Germany, and Germany is followed by several other nations, and the several other nations are Austria, the Kingdom of Two Sicilies, Lombardy, Poland, England, Ireland. So Germany is followed by these nations. There are so many nations in the queue, in the line, and they are coming and they are paying their tribute to the Statue of Liberty in a very proper and smooth manner. And the last point, as I'll talk about the heaven. So from the heaven above, Christ, saints and angels gaze the nations of the world. So in the heaven, Christ, that means Jesus Christ, several angels and saints, they are showering their blessing. They are very happy. They are blessing the people of earth. So this is symbolizing brotherhood, that there is no violence, everything is going in a very smooth manner. There is fraternity among the nations of the world. So this is the picture that has been prepared by Frederick Sorio. So this is the explanation of the print prepared by Frederick Sorio. So I hope that the explanation of this print is clear to everybody. Now students, in the next video I will be continuing with the chapter, and I will explain you the first topic of this chapter. Till then, thank you so much. I hope that this video is understood by everybody. The points related to this video are understood by everybody. So I'll meet you in the next class with the same energy and enthusiasm. Till then, please revise your lessons well and stay safe. See you in the next video. Thank you.